Hello and welcome to Mass Effect 2 and 3 comparison. In this video I'm hoping to show you a bit about the Mass Effect 2 and 3 gameplay, mostly around the Normandy ship that the game revolves around. I'm going to show you how the ship is developed and changed through the two different games. When it comes to Mass Effect 2, I think this was a great game that I spent a long time playing. And I thought that the graphics on it were great and the combat was fantastic, and I loved it. It's a great game, and there's so much in it. I mean, I probably spent about 40 hours, maybe 30 to 40 hours to complete this game. As you can see, the galaxy map is really good. It's really easy to traverse around, to move, to go anywhere. It's really well done. I'll compare this to Mass Effect 3 later, but for now I'll show you a bit around the actual Normandy itself. So from the main room of the ship, it goes into this tech lab, and all over the ship you have teammates working. This is the comms room, which, as you can tell, is really nice, but it's completely different how it will be in Mass Effect 3. They completely redevelop the communications rooms. Communicating is quite good. I like the communication system. They always give you a few options. I'm just looking back on this, seeing how much better the graphics are on Mass Effect 3, and I thought the graphics on this were great. Here we have how to change the loadout. There is very little that you can change with regards to your weapons. You get a wide array of different types of weapons, from your shotguns, sniper rifles, heavy weapons, and there are very few different options for them. So now I'll take you to Shepard's cabin. So for those of you who don't know, Commander Shepard is the main character, the one you play as, who the storyline revolves around. So this is his room. Being the commander of the ship, he has a very nice room indeed, if I'm honest. Just annoyed when I found out my fish had died. Might have saved the universe, but I lost my fish. Right, now let's go and have a look around the other floors. Deck 3 is the crew's quarters, where a lot of the crew are actually housed. This floor doesn't change that much at all between Mass Effect 2 and 3, apart from this room being Miranda's office. Miranda is no longer on the ship in the third game, so another crew member has that room. But the medical labs here remain pretty much the same in both games. Wow. Got to be honest, I didn't know Legion did that. So, Legion there is a... I think he noticed me. He is a robot, so it's quite amusing to see that going on. And then the fourth deck is the engineering, which is basically the actual engines of the ship. And there are a few members on board here. And now this is Mass Effect 3. This is the communications room. As I told you, it's completely different. There's so much more in here, as you can see. It's massive. They really redid out the communications area. This is where a lot of communicating with characters who come onto your ship will then take place. This is what was the tech room. Completely different. It's no longer a tech room. Now you have to go through this annoying scan before you can get into your galaxy map room. This system is still pretty much exactly the same. It just works really well. And yeah, I'll show you a bit of actual flying around. Once again, it's very similar. It looks incredibly similar. So it just feels a bit smoother though. That's probably just because it's a newer game. I mean, I'll show you what the overall galaxy looks like. It's completely different in this game because you're trying to fend off these Reaper attacks, which are these massive pillars which have invaded systems. So yeah, the galaxy map's very similar. Then let's try some of the other floors, see how they differ. So we'll go to the crew deck. This, like I said, looks pretty much the same. I mean, a bit more up to date, yeah, but it's pretty much looking entirely similar. Just no dancing robot this time. So you've now got these abilities. You can change some of your powers using the medbay for some reason. And then over here, what was Miranda's office now has been taken over by a different crew member. It's got a few usable areas in it, but yeah, that's pretty much the only change on this entire floor. I mean, some of the other rooms look different, but there's nothing really in those. But they just look cool. But I don't need to show you those. So this is the engineering floor. This is pretty much the same. The core looks different, but yeah, very similar. And then communicating once again.
Commander, I've identified a problem with our
very nice and effective.
Core overload could cause a plasma event within the.
Sometimes you have to listen to them for a bit, but you can just skip them on. You just press space a few times. You can usually skip a lot of their conversation.
Could you keep an eye out for one the next time you're on the Citadel, Commander? I've got the specs
And
right
yeah, you
here.
get a few options.
I'll look for it. Thanks, Commander.
I also find I use the journal a lot more in this one.
I've always loved the
And then the final floor, which you don't even have one of these on Mass Effect 2. This has got access to, you can requisite, I don't know what the actual proper word requisitions is, but you can acquire, I don't know what the word is, you can get whatever you want from on the ship. It's 10% more expensive for an item you want, but it means you can not bother chasing around the galaxy and just buy something straight away, which I've used and find it really useful. It's a nice addition on this floor. You also get, this time you get to upgrade weapons, so you can just select the weapon you want. So I use this one a lot. I've upgraded that to Mark 5. And it improves damage and ammo capacity and the weight of the weapons, which is really useful. Just to be able to upgrade the weapons you really want. And then over here you get to individually upgrade those weapons with mods. So first you can choose your loadout. So I really like sniper rifles and assault rifles, so those are the ones that I've currently got selected. And then you can choose a weapon you want and change the mod on it. You can find these mods when you're around on missions, which is why I really like to go around and make sure I've gone past everywhere. But yeah, you can choose the stuff that you really like. So I'm upgrading the damage and accuracy of that rifle. As you can see, it's quite heavy though. Even just having 2 weapons. But it's completely different to the last game where you just had a complete loadout depending on what type of character you chose at the beginning. So I chose the soldier loadout, which meant I got access to every weapon. Which is why in this game I get to choose what I take around with me. In Mass Effect 2 they literally give you every single gun, so during combat you can change to whatever gun you want, whereas in this you have to choose your loadout before you go in. Then you got the weight capacity, which changes how quickly you recharge your powers. So I usually like to just go around with a sniper rifle and assault rifle. But I could easily put a pistol on as well. That it changed on how quickly my powers recharge. So I decided to just go around with the two weapons. But I do think this is a lot more realistic now, having that weight limit, because before he had a massive backpack on every time he was going around combat and was just jumping around, rolling around, doing it, whatever. So it was pretty hilarious. But I'm just going to go back to my standard loadout. I like having that assault rifle. There you go, there's plenty to choose from that I found around on missions. But yeah, there's lots of weapons you can choose from. And then you get to modify them, and then you can have different modifications on the same gun for different teammates. So when you change the teammate's loadout, you can give them, say you don't bother with the weight reduction on certain weapons, and give them ammo and damage. But yeah, let's go back to my standard loadout, which I find really effective. And yeah, that is most of the ship. Now there's just the cabin, which I don't think's changed that much either. Once again, looks a bit more sleek almost, but yeah, it looks pretty similar, to be honest.